Welcome to Couple Reviews, where we're doing something a little different this time. Normally I have a script for my couple reviews, but today I'm just going to be watching the movie and commenting on it as I go. So this is the first time I've done this, so this is probably going to go terribly, terribly wrong. But we'll all go terribly, terribly wrong together, I guess. I've never seen this particular movie before, but I have watched other reviews on it, so I know a little bit. But I haven't actually seen everything in it, and I've always just been curious about this movie. Normally I don't need to give much context with my reviews because I expect you to already know who Spider-Man is, for instance. But you might never have heard of Strange Magic, so let me tell you about the history of Strange Magic. Basically, this was the film that Disney didn't want to distribute. This was made by Lucasfilms. It was made right before Disney acquired Lucasfilms, and I think they said in the contract that you have to release this, even though it's terrible or something like that. So Disney did a very bare minimum marketing campaign for Strange Magic. I'm not sure it ever even got a Blu-ray release. And it was in theaters for a very small time. It might not even have been in that many theaters. It got a very small release. So they didn't really want people to see it. They just released it because they had to. So this is made by Lucasfilms, and it was actually created by George Lucas, the creator of Star Wars. So for this video, I'm going to be wearing headphones, which means I'm going to have to take the sunglasses off this time. We can do this, I'm kidding. Fun fact, the sunglasses are not just an aesthetic choice, that's part of it, but the first time I tried to record my first video, my eyes were not cooperating. Like, it was hard to keep staring into the camera lens. One of my eyes blinked while the other didn't, so the sunglasses were a good problem solver decision to just make everything work. And when I have the sunglasses, I can keep staring at the script without it looking weird. So this video might go terribly wrong without the sunglasses, but this is a good film to be experimental with, because if this video ends up being a complete bust, it's just Strange Magic. Pulling out the Touchstone Pictures thing, because basically Touchstone is Disney's scapegoat.
This is a story about two kingdoms, side by side, but worlds apart. Primroses bloom between light and shadow. They are used to make love potion. Everybody deserves to be loved.
World building seems a bit basic so far. I just got light and dark on that side.
A fairy flew into a forest.
What?
And almost took a primrose.
A primrose? And more goblins cut down every primrose. No primroses, no potion. No potion, no love.
Does this guy actually think that if there's no potions, there's no love?
Oh, wait! I have something for you!
For me? Aren't you just as...
This movie's reminding me a lot of Epic.
Marianne?
His armor looks a lot like the stuff they had in that film, too.
Wait a minute.
Like, they had the little people and the animals were relatively similar size.
You could have been killed.
Oh, don't look!
Or worse, seriously disfigured.
Hey!
He just said that disfigured is worse than death. Shows where his priorities are.
Because when I rule this kingdom, I'll go into that dark forest to talk to them. To make it so, at long last, we're not scared anymore. My future king.
Yeah. King. I'll have an army.
Yeah. Wait, what?
Alright, that was a nice shot. Now that he's not actually in love with her, so why is he singing about his love when she's not there? Imagine if... Oh, okay. Right, it's not singing about her now, it makes sense.
I am so not getting my army.
So, his motivation for wanting to marry her was to get the army. So it's weird that he was talking so much about her beauty. But I think what they're trying to do here is their entire culture is too obsessed on image. So they had him display that too. But I feel like if he was trying to fake being in love with her just to get her army, why didn't he just fake? No, I guess he wouldn't fake not wanting to be with her because of her beauty, because their culture is built around just valuing things on their beauty. So he's pretending to love her he's pretending to be more romantic by pretending he just loves her for her beauty. That's... Huh.
What happened?
Do you want to build a snowman?
I'm sorry. But wait. Wait.
Tell Dad. The wedding's off.
How long did she know this guy for? That would seem crazy irrational if she didn't get engaged to him and almost marry him. If this was just some boyfriend, then it would seem really strange for her to just say never fall in love again.
What's your plan?
I made it so when the music starts, you'll accidentally bump into Hadrian.
Nathan.
Okay.
So he's trying to be her wingman even though he's actually in love with her, so he probably doesn't think he has a chance with her, maybe. He's trying to put his own feelings aside for her sake, maybe. Like, it's too early to tell, because I can't tell if he's just accepted not being with her and he's trying to set her up with someone else for her sake, or if this is like part of his master plan to get her in the end. We'll see.
Sonny?
What?
Worry! Gotta get help!
You're looking at it.
She got cheated on, and that taught her how to fight a lizard, obviously. Everyone knows when you go through a breakup, you get battle experience. She's really not that scary.
Pull your head out of the clouds. Clouds full of boys.
I can't tell how long it's been since she broke up with her fiance. It feels like this is all happening in the same day. But they're acting like it's been a while.
Dad, I'm just too old for this.
I just want to see the happy Marianne I used to know. Before the Roland misunderstanding.
You called it a misunderstanding?
So romantic. Come on, Marianne.
I don't really get why her dad is pushing him so hard. It's not like he's the king of another kingdom to match her up with.
And he will. All we have to do is get some of that love potion.
You saying I need a love potion?
No, just kidding. It was just a joke. We gotta go. Just kidding.
He's totally gonna do that, isn't he?
When you feel the world is over, when you say you're feeling low.
You okay?
Oh, me? Okay. Yes, I am. No. Hey, Elf, I know just how to feel. Yeah. There is something pretty good. Oh. I wish there was a way to make it fall in love with me. Yeah. Me too. Like, I don't know, maybe something like a love potion. A love potion? Wait a minute. It does a great idea. Except all this is make potion. She's not in that forest. And nobody ever goes into the dark forest. I know. You can. Why can't you? Because I'm free. It's too shiny. I just like, sure. Only I was like you. And I could blend in. Like you. I do it. Oh, it would have been perfect. And then we both, me and you, both use the love potion. I'll do it.
But why are you helping him with this? It's not like he's contributing to the plan.
Maybe if you got out more often,
Let it go, Dad.
you'll be a stronger ruler. with a king at your side.
I mean, okay, so he's kind of right. We'll cut him some slack for his reasoning, I guess. He's backing the wrong candidate, but he's right to say that she needs someone by her side, I guess. This has got to be taking place a long time after the breakup, because he's saying that she doesn't get out much. In order to warrant that statement, she has to have gone a long time without dating anyone, so it must have been a long time since she called off the wedding, but I feel like they're not transitioning to night ever, so the passage of time is super hard to read. I think whenever it goes to night, that's just because they're in the Dark Kingdom, which, is it just, I might be misreading things, but it feels like it's always nighttime in the Dark Kingdom and it's always daytime in the Light Kingdom. I don't know if that's actually what's going on. I can't tell how long anything is going on for.
Find a guy out there who takes my hand and looks me in the eye, and I don't want to hit him. I'll consider it, but that guy doesn't exist.
Then go to the dance to help me keep an eye on that flirtatious sister of yours.
He's worried about his other daughter being flirtatious, like she'll just end up with some random guy. But he wants Mary Ann to go out with the guy who cheated on her. Like, does he think that his other daughter is going to randomly choose someone worse than Roland?
Sure. Another good one!
Thus far, this film has failed to make me laugh ever.
Directions. Dust the one you love, stand in front, be the first she sees when she opens her eyes.
Got it.
But you didn't have a primrose petal.
And he brought me a primrose petal.
You made a potion.
Just like I did for you on that fateful day you never, ever, ever let me talk about.
Where is he?
Halfway to the Elf Festival by now.
Who wants to go to a party?
She kept his secret, but she just spilled all the beans about the elf guy. I'm glad I'm watching this movie for the sake of the video, because if I was just watching it for the sake of watching it, I would be asking myself, what am I doing with my life? And she's kind of oblivious, isn't she?
Oh, I wish I had boys.
Alright, that comment, he wishes he had boys. Before, I was thinking that he wasn't being sexist when he said that she needs a king, because he's just thinking like she needs companionship. But with that comment, I'm not sure if that was what we were supposed to take away from that.
Honey, no! This one's too feisty. Go get the smaller one.
She was taken down pretty easily.
A potion? No!
I'm sorry, Sugar Plum Fairy.
Where's my...
Don't apologize to Sugar Plum Fairy, she sold you out really quick.
I've been mistreated.
Really, my sister, you scary fox cockroach!
Return the love potion by noon down, tough girl, or you'll never see your sister again.
I'll have your head in sack. Idea's dead. I took a love potion.
Then give it back.
I don't have it.
You heard my terms. By moon down, or all of you will be dead.
This guy is pretty over the top, but I still don't see much charisma from him.
Dad!
I forbid you to fly into the dark forest.
Dad, I let this happen. I have to get her back.
I have to get her back. I
You
have
can
to
barely fly.
So what do? You get the potion back. I'll get my sister.
Dawn? Now she's my best friend.
Your best friend who you tried to brainwash, sure.
Who's with me?
So what do we have here?
Oh, silly.
Most of this is cringe, but at least the thing where she was crawling on the staff was kind of hot.
Take her and lock this crazy creature in the dungeons.
I've been thinking about doing an entire video just about love potion episodes for a while. I always thought that in TV shows and movies, love potions don't actually make people act how they act when they're actually in love. However, in her case, that might actually be how she acts when she's in love, considering her personality and the fact that she hasn't actually locked on to someone yet, so there's nothing to compare her so there's not much to compare her behavior to. I would actually buy that this is how she acts when she's actually in love.
Rock. I won't let you die sad and alone.
Alright, I just realized that both his mom and Marianne's dad are trying to fix them up with someone. The thing is, they're right to want them to not be alone, but they're both portrayed as doing things wrong, which I think what they're going for is they're technically right, but they're just going about it the wrong way. How long were we into this thing? 48 minutes. Okay, this film is all about love, but we have barely gotten to conversations between two people who are supposed to be in love in this film. Right in this moment, we're 48 minutes in. The only people that are in love with anyone at this point are the elf who is in selfish love with the sister, I forget the sister's name, and the sister who is in fake love with the other guy, but that's just because of the love potion. And then there's Roland, who's only pretending to be in love with Marianne, so this film is all about love. We're 48 minutes in, and we haven't seen any real love yet. I didn't realize. Okay, so I just remembered that I said it feels like it's always daytime in the Light's Kingdom, but it was daytime during the ball, so I guess that theory is out. I forgot to say, some passage of time cards where it says X number of years later would have helped, but we don't have anything like that here. I guess we don't deserve it. Why did you not kill that guy? Let's talk about that for a second. She had a sword, she could have hacked that guy's skull in half, but she deliberately bonked him instead. I get this movie is supposed to be accessible for kids, they don't want heads being chopped open, but think about this from an in-universe perspective. Why does she have a sharp weapon if she doesn't want to kill anybody? Why does anyone in a kid's film have a sharp weapon if they're not going to kill anyone? Wouldn't they want like a metal rod, kind of thing, like a blunt sword? Normally a blunt sword would look weird in a movie, but this is an instance where they have this other world they've crafted. So they could have just explained her not wanting to kill anyone with saying it's like in their culture they don't kill their enemies. So in that context, it would have made perfect sense for her to have a sword that's just blunt and doesn't actually cut through anything. Now you might say, well, she just cut through debris. No, she doesn't, because she's super small and she can just go through the cracks and everything and fly between the plants. So she doesn't actually need a sword to cut through anything. You know what, guys? We are too far into this movie for me to not know people's names. Look up the character names here. And again, this is the first time I've been so far into a review without knowing the main characters' names. Okay, Marianne we knew. Sunny, I forgot it was Sunny. Wait. Yeah, Sunny is the elf guy. Sister's name is Dawn. And his name is just the Bog King. His name is really just the Bog King. Alright. So, the names of everybody, pop quiz the names of everybody. Marianne, Dawn, Sunny, Roland, and Elf, and Bog King, apparently. Alright, Sunny, Dawn.
So, your eye seems to be healing pretty good.
Not your type. Now, I found someone who is positively perfect for you.
Not now, Mother.
So we just saw a lizard fall in love with an elf, and you saw the Bog King's mother try to set him up with an insect. So what exactly are the rules here, and what what exactly are the rules here in terms of what is and is not bestiality? I mean, are insects sentient in this universe and thus not in the category of animals?
If you don't keep your mouth shut, I'm going to rip your wings off. My pretty little fairy princess.
Flirt.
What is that?
Is she into that? Okay, that one, you got me that one laugh.
You must be tired from all that singing. Why don't you take a wee nap? I promise I won't go far.
Please tell me your name.
I am the Bog King. Good night.
Oh, so you're nice now? Again, what are the rules we're going with here? Alright, we just saw a fairy kiss a frog, so either we're going with bestiality is okay in their culture, or they're just so. Are animals like not animals because they have more intelligence in this universe, or is that we just witnessed an abomination? Now he's getting into it. What am I watching?
She fell in love with me.
Me too. Is that wrong?
Yes. So there's a little bit of interesting moral ambiguity here, because the bad guys are sort of working against the love potion, which is messing everything up.
Release my sister.
Oh, no, another princess. Well, you're not singing.
I'm going to
They knew, like he said, oh, you're not going to start, at least this one's not singing, and then she starts saying, like, you know this is annoying, why are you I hate when movies are like, oh, we'll just point out that it's annoying, and then that will make it accepted by the audience. No, it's still annoying, even if you turn to the camera and say, this is going to be the annoying part, but it doesn't make it less annoying when you do that. When you say this part's, or when you say this is so cliched, that doesn't make it less cliched.
That's all day.
Hour into this film and you're finally getting a good action scene, huh? The singing is dragging it down, but it's not that bad choreography. Doing the evenly matched thing again. I don't like the whole evenly matched thing where you have two fighters just get tuckered out and quit because they're just so evenly matched. That's not how evenly matched works. When you have two fighters that are equally matched, one is just going to win because the other had an off day, or because one of them got lucky, or something. Like, I used to play fighting games with my brothers a lot, and even if one of us was better at the game, the other person would win sometimes. So we just be like, sometimes I would win, sometimes they would win. We rarely ever like both struck a final blow at the same time or anything. It was just we were both capable of beating the other, so either person could win. It was just a matter of who was on their game better in that fight, or who was like in the zone more, I guess, or who had the winning strategy, or did we anticipate each other's strategy well enough. I've seen very few instances of two fighters being equally matched and they actually handle that well. In Luke Cage Season 2, there was this other villain who was like completely on par with Luke Cage. So every time they fought each other, it was anyone's guess who would win that time. And that kept the stakes there, and then you could actually have him still be a credible threat even after he's lost a fight to Luke Cage. So that was a good equally matched. I wish they would do that more, where like they want to set these two up as equals. So I would have preferred that like they have them fight each other twice, and one time he wins, one time she wins.
Go ahead. Kill me. But you won't get your sister.
Wait, so she is better than him because she could have killed him right there? When he dared her to kill him, that might have not have been like her being declared a better fighter. That might have just been him like lowering his guard because he knew he had a better bargaining chip. So it might not have been like she was a better fighter. He he was just letting her do that because he knew she wouldn't go through with it. So he's not actually, so they are actually evenly matched, I'm thinking.
Would it be a sin?
So the frog can talk, the lizard can't. Does that mean, hang on, does that mean that the frog if the frog has sentient intelligence, does that mean it's okay for the frog to be kissing the fairy even though it's not okay for the lizard to be in love with the elf because the lizard can't talk? Or are we judging intelligence by the ability to speak because, like, obviously people who can't speak have sentient intelligence, but how is this movie trying to... This movie is sending me down rabbit holes, and not sure if these are rabbit holes I should go into, but there's rabbit holes I'm staying in.
You?
Yes.
Antidote?
Working on it. Upstairs.
But I found your boutonniere.
Hi. You know,
But there was a cage still lowered there, and now the cage is gone, and she can just go right through.
I really enjoyed our fight, but
No.
I'll be taking my sister home now.
What? It was... We're doing incest now, or... She's supposed to be in love with the Bog King, and now we're getting that...
Oh, no, you're not.
It's the best I could do on such short notice.
Tonight's gonna be a good night.
You two behave.
I thought the point was for them to not...
Go see if the antidote's ready. Why would she...
Took you that long to figure that out?
They're in chains.
That bind you.
It's nothing but trouble. It's like their middle name is Misery.
And more lies.
So they seem to be pretty compatible because they're both so bitter about romance. Which brings up an interesting question. Would they actually have fallen in love if they met at the beginning of the film before she went into her bitter phase? So she's only compatible with him because she's going through her bitter phase, and he's only compatible with her because he's so bitter. So are they still going to be in love if they get each other out of their bitter phase? And would they have loved each other if one of them wasn't in the bitter phase? I don't know.
The antidote is the one thing more powerful than the potion.
I hate riddles.
It's not that hard. It's obviously real love she's talking about.
Something more
I'm
powerful.
bored. I'll just tell you.
Great.
If you set me free.
No. Okay.
Then I will reveal the antidote with a story.
What? No!
When the ball game's young, impetuous, he fell in love with a sweet young thing.
That's enough.
So he came to me for my love potion. I tried to tell him how it worked. He dusted the sweet, unsuspecting creature.
I beg you.
As she was gazing into the eyes of a lovesick ball.
Even with a love potion, I'm too hideous.
But that's not why the potion didn't work. What? She was already in love with someone else.
So the one thing more powerful than the potion is real love?
I actually do like this concept of the real love overriding the potion. I might elaborate on this more if I do a love potion video, but it sort of always seems like in love potion episodes that the love potion put them in is stronger than the actual feelings that they have for each other on the show. I always thought that love potion episodes were depressing because they portray that kind of love as more powerful than any love you could get naturally. Whereas in this movie, they clarified that the real love overwrites the love potion. So I actually do like that concept that they're playing here. I just wish that the movie itself was better.
I shouldn't have used the potion on that. Nothing would have been
Real. I almost married someone. Power-hungry, cheating, chattering pig son of a...
Oh!
Inside, I knew. He didn't want me to be...
But you are different.
I've been told.
That's what I like.
Alright, this movie is not a good movie, but I'm actually kind of liking these two together. Thank you for catching the girl who can fly. That was very necessary. That sequence was, the lyrics weren't helping anyone there. They're too vague. Like, obviously that's because it's a jukebox musical. I assume that was a pre-existing song, so that wasn't actually talking about anything specific about them. So the song wasn't actually a good choice for them in this scene, but that actually was kind of romantic. How it was like showing around his kingdom, and I like that part where like carries her through the thorns. That was a romantic gesture, but they could have done better with the song. Like that, if they could have made a better song for that scene. When you think about, let's compare this to a romantic song in a Disney movie. In A Whole New World, you have Aladdin showing Jasmine around to places outside of her palace, that's what she wants, because she's been cooped up in her palace, and that's like him showing her that he wants her to be more free. That was like specific. That was good. In this, it's just them saying strange magic over and over, which is nothing specific to these characters in that song. So that song was just a terrible choice for them. Another good example would be I See the Light in Tangled, where in that song, Eugene and Rapunzel are both realizing that the thing that they thought they wanted isn't really what they want out of life. Rapunzel thought that she thought that her biggest goal was seeing the lanterns, and Eugene thought that his big goal was being rich, but then they realized that what they really want is romance. So they had been living their lives with misconception of what they want inside, and they see the light, which is what they really want, is a deep connection with someone. So that's specific to them, but Marianne and Bog King aren't allowed to have something that really speaks to who they are, because they're just remixing a classic song. I assume it's a classic song, or why would it be? Wait, hang on. This had better not be an original song, because if it is, then what's their excuse? Yeah, 1975. Yeah, there is a song called "Strange Magic." I'm assuming that's what they just sang.
You played me!
This isn't... I didn't mean for any of this.
I will be taking both princesses.
That wasn't the deal.
It is easy to roll your eyes at the whole misunderstanding thing that derails them right after they get some momentum going, but she does have some legitimate reasons to think she was up to something, I'll give him that. What I don't understand is why she's so upset with him when she should understand how bad this looks.
He brought you the potion!
Yes, and an army!
Well...
You got me to leave my castle, clever girl.
But...
You, turtle!
I'm not sure if that's physics. You know, he could just slit his throat there. Or carried around a blunt sword.
You're all right. So, little thing.
Sonny?
Every little thing.
Sonny?
Be
I love you.
Me?
Let's talk about this. Okay, so I get that the message is don't try to. Wait. The message is don't drug a girl, just try to get her the normal way. So what we've all learned here is don't use a love potion to get the girl, just be yourself. But I guess you could just listen to that last part of just be yourself. But the thing is, I don't really see him as this good person. I don't really see him as a good person because he tried to use a love potion to nab her. That seems very unconsensual there. That seems kind of rapey, doesn't it? I mean, it's not like she doesn't have a reason to love him because he was supportive of her, I guess. If you want to read into things here, you could say that she actually did have romantic feelings from the whole time, and maybe she also knew that she had romantic feelings for him the whole time, but she didn't bother pursuing it because he kept trying to push her towards other guys, so she just assumed that he wasn't interested. They didn't really communicate that that was the case, though. It just seems like she wasn't interested in him that way. The last time they saw each other didn't really translate to her being in love with him. Like, last time they saw each other was forever ago, right?
You.
He's alive!
It didn't work. I wonder why.
I learned a valuable lesson. Never judge something or someone by how it or he or she looks. An elf.
Baby steps. Make progress in baby steps.
Are you, okay?
I'm fine. Wings, shoulders, head, all good.
How'd you fix your arm so fast?
I just wanted to say I'll never see this place the same way. Bye!
Whoa. Didn't mean to sound so cute.
Cute. Actually works for you. Only fools rush in with...
Maybe I should take it from here.
He's singing the same song that she was singing at the beginning of the film. So that means that both of them had to be aware of this song, so it has to be some sort of song that neither of them made up in universe. In order for that to have happened, then both of their cultures had to have been familiar with this song. But that doesn't make any sense because they already established that the Dark Kingdom and the Light Kingdom are completely separate from each other. No one dares go over to the other. So the idea of one song being commonly known in both these kingdoms doesn't make any sense unless it's some sort of really long-lasting song that's been around since before this conflict started, but there's little evidence. But they didn't really clarify that there was such a time before the conflict between them started. It just opened the book and said there was these two kingdoms and they don't like each other right off the bat. I think this film finally embraced the fact that it's an acid trip incarnate.
You're breaking it down, it falls to the ground, 'cause I had lost the
Okay, so apparently from this credits, George Lucas didn't direct or write the film, but he made up the story for it. I think basically they were making the story that he told them to make, even though he didn't actually do the directing or writing himself. So that's the way in which George Lucas made this. Okay, apparently we got a stinger here, so we'll skip ahead.
Ignore them, sweetie.
Beauty is in the eye of the beholder.
No, thank you. That movie is even worse. So that was Strange Magic. And so what did I think of this disaster? You know, sometimes you just like to watch absolute madness on screen, and you just find something so stupid that it becomes interesting, and that's Strange Magic. That was a very bad film, but it had a bit of merit to it, I suppose. I mean, the chemistry between the Bog King and Mary Ann works well enough, but once they get to it, which takes a really long time, a lot of it was writing on the whole don't judge a book by its cover thing, which isn't that original. I was kind of thinking, they didn't really point this out, so I was thinking that not only is Mary Ann falling in love with the Bog King, even though he looks ugly by her culture's definition of ugly, there's also the fact that the Bog King could see her as ugly because she doesn't fit what his culture defines as beautiful. After watching this movie, I can't help but wonder, they fell in love while they were both bitter and mistrusting, but falling in love with each other seemed to get them out of that bitter hole that they were in. So are they still going to love each other now that they've gotten each other out of the bitter hole that they bonded over? I mean, you could argue that they're going to revert to the way they were before. So Mary Ann could end up being more like... So let's say after the events of this movie, Mary Ann could be sort of a hybrid of the tough girl she is for most of the movie and the wide-eyed innocent girl she was at the beginning of the movie. And you could argue that before the Bog King had his failed love attempt with that other thing, he might have been the wide-eyed innocent type too, so now they're both going to be the hybrid selves of their tough selves and innocent selves. So if that's what happened, they would still be compatible even though they've changed. Okay, some of the romance was okay, but the whole thing with Sunny and Dawn just did not work at all. It didn't even need to sabotage it like that. I feel like they could have done better if they... Let's take that talk that he had with Roland earlier. Maybe it would have been better if Roland was blackmailing Sunny instead. Like, he could have said, go get me the love potion or I'll tell everybody this lie that'll make Dawn not love you. Maybe that would have worked better than you should get the love potion so that you can brainwash Dawn into loving you. That would have made him more sympathetic. And like, if you just change that one thing, like, I can't get behind this guy that was trying to use the love potion to get the girl to love him. Like, yes, he saw the error of his ways, but he didn't interact with... Okay, so he was this terrible person at the beginning, right? We're supposed to believe that Dawn had to have fallen in love with that terrible person he is at the beginning of the film because she's in love with him at the end of the film, but she hasn't seen him since then. So she had to be in love with that selfish person who tried to drug her into loving him. The movie's merit is like some of the romance, but even some of the romance is bad. But the comedy is like mostly bad. There's a few good laughs in there, but this movie is not a very good comedy. A lot of the character animations were very obnoxious and moving weirdly. If you want to talk about action scenes, that one duel between The Bog King and Marianne was okay. There really wasn't that much action in it though. This movie is just not right in the head. Like you saw the rabbit holes that my mind went down. So would I recommend this movie? I wouldn't recommend you to watch this under the expectations of it being good. I would say if you want to watch something crazy and be lost in the madness for an hour and a half, then yeah, go for it. So this is the first episode of a couple reviews that I've done in this format. Am I going to do this again? I'm not sure. This recording section was super smooth, and this basically I got to, instead of needing to write the scripts and then go through all the movie and get the footage I need, and then I just already have all the footage recorded on one fell swoop, and I didn't need to write beforehand. So far this format seems pretty easy to do, but I can't say if I'm going to do it again yet, because for all I know the editing process for this video could be not worth it. So I'm going to edit this video first and then decide if I want to do this format again. So maybe text on screen will say if I'm going to do this again. But right now I'm feeling like I do want to just have some videos where I write a script and do it like the other videos I've done. And then sometimes I'll do these reaction-based reviews where I just comment on the movie as I watch it for the first time. I don't want there to be, I always thought that I don't really want couple reviews to be that consistent with its format, because if the episodes are too similar to each other, then they get tiring to watch and they get tiring for me to make. So I want to keep switching it up, like some videos will be done in this format, some episodes being done in that format, so to keep things fresh and not let things get stale and repetitive. Even if this episode goes great in the editing process, I'm still not going to be doing just this all the time. So remember to like, comment, subscribe, ring the bell, and not drug someone into loving you.